What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out. This is my dumbass. Like and subscribe. So, seems that Colin Moriarty has changed. Okay. I used to say, and I still stand by it somewhat, that he is very intelligent. I feel that that's kind of shifting. He's articulate, definitely. He does have a lot of intelligence in certain areas, but his blind fandomism, his fanboyism for PlayStation is making him seem not as intelligent as he should be, right? I don't know if it's because he can say things and sound intelligent. Like, I'm a dummy. I'll say I'm the stupidest person I know for a lot of reasons. But when he says things like Psychonauts 2, not your game. Ghostwire Tokyo, not your game. Starfield, not your game. I'm like, there was another game in there too, but I'm like, I mean, in what context are you saying this? Because it doesn't seem like you know what you're talking about. Because A, they own it, their game. If you want to just be, logistically speaking, law-wise, they own it, it's their game, literally. So you look like a fool. I understand what you're saying. Oh, they didn't own it when they started the game, so it's not their game. Is that what it is? So if that's the case, then Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, you know that Sony didn't own Insomniac when they started that game. They acquired them after they did that game. After they finished that game and said, oh, people like this. Maybe we should buy them. And they bought them. So, with that logic, Colin, Spider-Man, not your game. How does that seem right? And we can go back further. Spider-Man was never exclusive before Insomniac got it. It was Activision putting it out. It was on everything. And those games are actually very good. Now imagine if Insomniac made those type of games, like Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions. They're good games. They're older games. And so the age of when they came out, you can see the age in them. But imagine if those games were made. Let's say there's a remake. Now, here's the thing, right? Microsoft will own Activision Blizzard King. So the possibility that they could go to Marvel and say, hey, we want to make a remake of the game that we own Activision now, so it's ours. We want to remake that game. And Marvel's like, money? And Microsoft's like, money? Of course. And then they remake Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimensions, and there's another one I can't remember. I think it was a trilogy. And those games were kind of good. Imagine a modern day remake of those games. Come on, son. It'll make Insomniac Spider-Man look a little sus. That's all I'm saying, because those games are fundamentally the same, except they added their, movie production value to them for the most part. Although Insomniac really wasn't part of that per se, because if you look at Sunset Overdrive, Microsoft Xbox exclusive, it's basically the same game as the Spider-Man games, especially the first Spider-Man. It's funnier because they get to make all the curse words and the jokes, so it's definitely a funnier game, written wise. But all of the same kind of cinematic qualities exist in Sunset Overdrive to an extent. They didn't go overboard like they did in Spider-Man. But they have those cutscenes. They have these giant boss fights and stuff. And it's cool and it's inventive. And it's a little bit better, I think, than Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a little predictable because it's such a beloved franchise. And people know Doc Ock. People know Rhino. People know Mysterio. People know all these. Although Mysterio, I don't think was in it yet. Or maybe he was. He was, right? And it doesn't matter. So, when Colin says things, the more he talks, the more I say he's doing it on purpose. He's doing it just to say some crazy stuff so that he can be the subject of countless YouTubers out there, including myself, Mainly because people know that when you put Colin Moriarty in your title or whatever, you kind of get a boost on views because he's a very popular person in the video games, right? Ever since he was in IGN, then he did he did Kind of Funny for a second, then him and Greg kind of got a little and on that respect, I would say that I would probably stand with Colin on that whole thing, but I'm not getting into that right now. And now he's doing Last Stand Media, and Kind of Funny's doing their own thing. I think Kind of Funny blew up a little bit more bigger. Last Stand Media is still a smaller outfit, but I'm sure he's doing fine, and he's an intelligent individual. Words. Sorry, I just came for the dentist, so my teeth are dancing. I don't get any funny gas. They don't numb me. They're like, yo, you gonna get all the pain. Like, okay. Anyway, but yeah, the I don't particularly like doing videos about Colin and the things that he says, but I would prefer to do a video about him because he's such a predominant figure to the ponies and the donkey unicorns. I've never called him a pony or a donkey unicorn, but every time he says something foolish like this, it moves a little bit closer to that. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll see what he says. He's still an entertaining podcaster and YouTube guy. I like the other show, the nostalgic show he does, Throwback. I think that's what it's called. And him and his brother, and they talk about, they don't just talk about like video games. They talk about movies and music and all that stuff. So it's cool. So in that respect, he's okay. But I think his weakness is his fandom. It's a little too strong. I mean, I like Xbox, right? And there's reasons why. I explained it before. Sega, Sega, Dreamcast dead. Xbox, the original Xbox is Dreamcast 2, basically. On from there. That's how it happened. So blame Sega, blame Yu Suzuki. It's his fault that I'm an Xbox fan. And I like Xbox, but there's only so far that you can like something before they smack you, insult you, treat you like trash, and you just gotta be like, I'm good, I'm gone, I'm a bounce now, thank you. I enjoyed the time we had together, but it's over. Them days is over. And the thing about that is, right, for me, we'll keep this short today. I always say that, right? The thing about that is, I fell in love with arcade games. I didn't fall in love with NES. I didn't fall in love with Genesis. None of that. I didn't fall in love with Pac-Man. No. It was Space Harrier Arcade, period. That was the jump off. So, my default going back, if I was like, forget consoles, forget the console war, I'm done. I'm building arcade cabinets and I'm be like, I'm good. And that's how it's going to be. That's what it would be. And maybe I would get a console here and there, and say, oh, okay, there's one game I might want to play. That's it. I'm not going to be like, life is too short to go through any shenanigans, any nonsense, any extracurricular stress. So, I mean, look, this is all fun and games. This is a hobby. And honestly, it's like, whatever they do, I don't know, sometimes you got to take a stance. Sometimes you're like, whatever, that's business, all that stuff kind of mixes all together. And, this is the world we live in, basically. So you could choose your battles. You could choose your sides. That's an individual choice. So I'm not gonna hate anybody for liking what they like, but at the same time you have to realize what's going on as far as the company that you support. What are they really doing? Is it a good look? Is it something that you want to be a part of? I mean, you could quietly be a part of, or you could be like these fools on Twitter and try to defend these actions. You know, if Microsoft comes out and does something foolish, I'm like, yeah, I'm not defending them. That was dumb. And that's they get that all the time. But Sony, for some reason, they get defended. You know, all these donkey unicorns, all these ponies put on their armor, and they're like, "Let's go! We have to protect the big Sony, I guess." Or, you know, it's just a little bit puzzling to me. And sometimes, a lot of the times, some people, I'm not gonna say most people, but some people can compartmentalize things. I can, because it's just kind of how I wade through all the BS of the world and the everyday struggles and stuff. I say struggles, but you know, everybody's struggles are different. Everybody's, oh my gosh, my car's broken. Struggles. I'm like, oh, whatever. You're still breathing, right? Okay. You got food, okay. And the struggle ain't that bad for you, right? You know. So, like I said, it's all subjective when it comes to that stuff. I mean, it's not opinions. We're just talking about experiences. But anyway, you know, it's you compartmentalize and you say, I'm just going to enjoy video games. Let's just keep it simple, basically, you know. And I think a lot of people need to do that, because I understand the console war is like an extracurricular activity. It's part of video games. It always has been, but there are different people built for console wars. People who want to talk shite, people who want to just debate, if you will, you know. And that's fine, because it's entertaining sometimes when people are in on the jokes. You know, both sides are like, yo, this ain't real serious, but we're gonna just go at it, because it's like the dozens, basically, back in the day. And that's fine, but some people don't take it that way. They take it actually really seriously, then they get offended, and that's where the problem comes. And I would say that partially it's a generational thing. Like, I'm Gen X, right? So the millennials and the elder millennials and the baby millennials and the Z's, or whatever, the Z's, and the other alpha. I think alpha is after Z. I don't even know. I don't know what the generations are. But they're built a little different. You know, they got a little bit more sensitivities. So you gotta, you know, you say something to them like, yo, what's the joke? It's like, no, it's not. And they get all cryy and they cry. I'm like, why you crying? Huh? I mean, Jim Ryan is not a Z. He's not an X like me. He's older than me. So he's the hippie. I don't know what he is, but I don't know why he's crying so much. He's actually like a millennial, but he's older. How old is Jim Ryan? He's like 72 years old. So I don't know. It don't matter. We ain't talking about Jim Ryan. Talking about Colin here and his foolishness. I'm gonna have to like make a little chart, a little line chart. Like, okay, Colin he's smart. Oh wait, then he said this. Why would you buy a Ninja Theory? Oh, that's not yours. He's losing credibility the more he talks. But I always go back to, it might be a calculated move on his part to say something foolish in order to get some hits, some views. So I'm still trying to figure it out what he's doing. But in the meantime, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Is Colin crazy? No, he's super smart genius man that he's playing the Twitter, he's playing social media to his advantage to get more, you know, eyes and ears on his content. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, maybe I would do that. Maybe I say something foolish, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Everything I say is foolish, so what? But anyway, appreciate you hanging out. This is my name's Grab. And yeah, anything else you want to say in the comments, you go right ahead. You know, it's an open forum as far as I'm concerned. Just, you know, be nice to each other. You know, no need to, you know, you guys can talk back and forth. You guys have been very respectful. I appreciate you guys in the comments, you know, going back and forth. You disagree, but still, you know, you keep it civil, and that's what's up. And that's how I want to keep it, and that's how it should be. We need to enjoy this stuff because it's fun. It's fun. So yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one.